and welcome back to another one of my thrilling videos. It's great to be back. So today we're going to be taking a quick look at the Sony DCR-DVD92E, effectively a little Handycam from Sony which came out in 2005. So a little bit of history on this camera. Obviously, if you haven't already figured it out, it was a Handycam which took DVDs. Albeit mini DVDs inside it. You could get standard DVDs and rewritable DVDs, some of which you can see in the back right there. This came to market, like I said, around 2005, and I must say, I really do not remember much of a hubbub, if that's even a word, around DVD cams or Handycams. Just to give you a little bit of background, I had my mini DV camera stolen from me around 2001, and I had to buy myself a replacement. It took me 4 years to pay off that replacement. That's another story. Around 2001, and I had that mini DV camera all the way up until around about 2013, when the carriage door finally gave up, and I jumped into the world of HD. And that HD camera was the one that I used to use on my on this channel here. The reason I'm telling you this story is because I really do not remember anybody having a DVD Handycam. And I never remember anybody saying, hey, I've got some footage on a DVD that I've recorded here, have that. It's really, really weird in that kind of period where DVDs were becoming more mainstream. But when it came to recording on DVD, I just don't remember anybody doing it. Anyway, let's just jump in and have a look at this camera. What you need to know, it's the 22nd of January 2022 today, and I took this camera out for a little test. So I've got some footage which I'm going to share with you after we just talked about the camera. But let's have a little look. So I got this camera very late 2020. It's in really nice condition, as you can tell from the picture at the front of the video. Got it in the box. Came with all the basic items needed to run the camera. So on the front here we've got one of those nice little flip out screens which become kind of customary. This is actually a touch screen, so very similar to the HVR A1E screen, which was also touch. We'll turn it on in a minute and have a little look at that. On the inside here we've just got a button for displaying battery info. Just turn that back round for the moment. So that's it. We've got two little buttons on the top here. We've got a backlight button, backlight compensation, and we've got a button which says easy, and effectively if you are really, really bad at using camcorders and you just wanted to go out and shoot, you would just press the easy button. I have no idea why that was required. When I used to own a video camera as an early 20-something young guy at college, I mean, there was no easy option on. You just turn the camera on and shoot, so I don't know if that made it any easier. Sorry about that, I just hit the power button by mistake. So let's continue. So on the front of the camera here, obviously we have the lens. It's a Carl Zeiss lens with an f2.3 to 46mm lens on the front. And then just down here we have the microphone, stereo microphone, and we also have the AV port, nicely concealed right there. So bottom of the camera is just your standard fare tripod battery release slider there. I'm using the slightly higher capacity battery on this camera. I can't remember if I got it with this camera, but the higher capacity is the NP-FP71, and the standard battery is the MP-FP50, and they still work really, really well. So here you have your viewfinder. That does pull out slightly to give you more comfort, and there is a little slider here, again just to help with people's eyesight, so you can correct it to make it better for you. Okay, so on the back of the camera, very straightforward. There's your record start and stop button, and then we have the slider here, which basically you can turn the camera on and off, and you can slide it into the various different modes, which we'll get to in a second. Hidden away down here, if you can see that there, is a little remote port. So if you want to plug a remote into it, you can do that. And then on the top here is just the area where you just plug your DC in. So again, that's where you would plug your DC in there. Sorry about the noise outside. Okay, so let's turn this camera on. So we're going to turn the camera on right now. That means that we push the icon, sorry, press the lever down. I mean, should a little bleep there. So let's turn this camera around. Now, just so, if anyone's interested, the viewfinder is actually black and white, but obviously the screen here. Oh, I've taken the battery off. So yeah, so this was a touch screen, like I said, like the HDR-A1E. And this would be the screen that you would look at when you're ready to record. You've got the menu button down here as well. So very similar to the HDR-A1E. You just scroll through the menus via touchscreen and select and change what you want. So if we slide the slider down, that will take us into picture mode. Apologies for this. It's because I took the battery off the back of it whilst doing the prep for the video. So this now puts us into picture mode. And all we would do is you would press photo on the top here to take your photograph. So if we just have a go at that right now. And there you go, you get a capture. And then we press that button down one more time and we get the viewing mode. And that allows you to view whatever is on the DVD. And as you can see, there are some things on there and I will share that with you shortly. So we're going to turn this camera off for now. And now we're going to have a little look at the side that houses the DVD. So if I just turn the camera back around so you can see what is on top of the camera, so it allows us to get in, you can see on the top here it says access open. And when we pull that, this gate will open. And just before we do that, there's also a Night Shot Plus button on the top, which is always handy for when you're in low light conditions. Flick it on and it will try and pull in as much light and give you that classic kind of green night vision goggle look. So without further ado, let's open this and see the DVD inside. Here we go, and that opens the door, and then what we do is we gently pull it open, and there we go. Inside it houses one of the small DVDs, and these can be popped out by just pushing that in, pulling it out and pushing it back in again. I'm not going to do it for the purposes of the video because I think all of you out there know how to load a DVD in and out of a camera. But as you can see behind me as well, you can pick up various different DVDs. I think I've got some, yeah I have, I've got some 60 ones as well, which come in a nice pack. Old media is always more expensive. But yeah, and then when you're ready to go, it's a case of just clicking it in. Sorry about that. That will load the DVD that is ready for you to shoot, and then you go out and shoot. And really, I think the only real, I suppose, that good thing about having a DVD camera is that once you were done, you could kind of format it so that it couldn't be recorded over, but then you could also kind of create your own menu to kind of personalize it. So I think that's pretty nice, but that is effectively the camera. There's nothing else to show on this camera. So just before I show you the footage, I just kind of want to talk to you about how I thought it was to shoot with the camera and just talk to you kind of like what it shoots in. So this camera shoots in 640 by 480 natively. So that's 480p, otherwise known as 4:3. You can change the ratio to 16 by 9, but for some unknown reason, it's kind of stretched it from kind of top to bottom as opposed to left to right. I thought that that would be amended once I had it on a wider screen, but I can't seem to change that. So you'll notice that in the video. I mean, when I was out shooting with it today, I had absolutely no problems with it whatsoever. It was nice to hold. The buttons were very reactive. I really like how everything is so compact on the camera. All the ports are kind of hidden away really nicely. It fits in the palm of your hand really, really well. I could see the screen clearly through the viewfinder and the LCD screen. Not really anything to complain about other than the exposure control or automatic control is not great. You'll see periods in the video where it just kind of goes really dark and then you'll kind of move it to a lighter area and then it will get lighter again. So the automatic exposure control isn't great. And it's a little bit blurrier than I expected it to be. Now I have deinterlaced this video, but it was a little bit blurrier than I expected it to be. Now, obviously, the resolution is lower, but you know I love lower resolution, but it was just a little bit more blurry. So I don't know if that was because this was a cheaper Handycam on the market and if there were better quality cameras, that I don't know. And when I was kind of editing and doing it on my Mac, it came up that it was an NTSC Rec 601 NTSC. I did try to change it to PAL, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. So I wonder why that's coming up in NTSC. But anyway, overall, it's a really nice camera to use, to shoot with. It doesn't give you the best results, but I really like the form factor of the camera. I really like the fact that it's recording onto DVDs. I was really weirded out by the fact that I didn't have to rewind anything. So that's a really good thing in regards to form. Just press and go, watch your footage without any rewinding at all. Fantastic. No be kind rewind here. So if there's anything that I've missed out or maybe you haven't mentioned about this camera, please ask me or mention it in the comments. You know, I'm pleased that I've been able to get out there and shoot with this today. And you know what, I kind of wish that there were still cameras out there using DVDs, because I just think it's a really cool form factor like mini disc, but I'm a bit of a nerd like that. But anyway, this is me and I'm signing off, and let me know your thoughts about the video. See you later. Okay, it's the 22nd of January 2022. I'm doing a test of the DVD92E just over local park. I'm going to go into town just to give you kind of idea what kind of quality you're getting on this kind of camera now. It's a 30-minute rewritable disc. Giving it a test for stability, just walking along at a reasonable pace. So you recognise this place from other of my videos. Just met a fellow photographer. So I've just changed the ratio to 16:9. Just to show you the difference. I think we're going to leave it in this. As you can see, 4:3 in the previous shots. Quite a lot of sunshine today, so I'm just going to do a quick exposure test. It's an automatic. Funny to think the real Banksy was taken off of this wall, completely removed, and then they got a graffiti artist to come and respray a fake image and then put a piece of perspex over it. Brilliant. So much sunshine. Just about to see the bridge up. I believe the pavilion's going to get demolished soon, so this might be something to document on film. Apparently it's been up since 1993. There's a ship out there. See if we can zoom in, see how good the zoom is. Not bad. Such an old camera. And there is the front of the pavilion. So I believe it's to be demolished soon, or at least refurbished. It's another building here. I think it's called Tuttle's Corner. This is meant to be getting a big refurbish as well. If you can see that okay, it's the old post office. Apparently this is going to have some level of refurbishment. Don't know if it's going to be yet, flat shops, not sure. It's become quite well known in Lowestoft. Don't know if the vendor is there. Just going to say hello to him. He's not there at the moment. Next time maybe, next time. So I'm going to finish off my little trip with a half a pint at the legendary Triangle Tavern. Are you?